Let me tell you why marriages fail without Jesus. You may have noticed that lately we've been doing a lot more posts about Christianity, and that's intentional. For years, we've taught relationship skills, communication tools, emotional intelligence, and conflict resolution. And those things matter. But after dealing with couples for years and studying relationships, we've noticed something. Relationship tools don't fix the human heart. You can know every communication strategy in the world and still be prideful, still be selfish, still be defensive, still struggle to forgive, and still be driven by fear. And eventually, the tools stop working. So going forward, we're going to be direct about the foundation behind our work. We believe marriage without Jesus eventually fails. And let me be clear, fail doesn't always mean divorce. Sometimes it looks like staying together but being roommates, lost friendship, constant tension, secret resentment, and two people living parallel lives under the same roof. From the outside, the marriage looks intact, but on the inside, the life is gone. And don't confuse church culture with people who actually follow Jesus. People say a lot of things, but our beliefs are not proven by what we say. They are revealed by what we do. Here's a simple example. You might say you believe you'll get a speeding ticket, but if you speed down the freeway anyway, you know there's a possibility you could get a ticket, but you don't really believe you will. And there's a big difference between the two. And faith works the same way. Every society has two cities, as described by Augustine of Hippo, the city of God and the city of man. And we all have the free will to decide which city we want to live in. So if you're happy and satisfied with your relationship results, that's great. There's plenty of secular relationship content out there for those who want to continue living in the city of man. But as for us, we're going to keep teaching relationship tools grounded in the city of God. Because relationship tools without transformation don't last. And the human heart doesn't transform without God. Let me make something clear. It is not a wife's job to manage her husband's feelings in marriage. And here's something most people don't want to admit. Many modern marriages fail because many men outsource their emotional regulation to their wives, and their wives secretly resent having to carry it. And there's a very basic reason for this. A woman cannot nurture her family well when she's constantly stressed out, trying to manage the emotional stability of the man she's married to. A household becomes unstable when the person who's designed to carry life is forced to carry the emotional stability of her husband instead. We love to say that women should be nurturing, but we reject the idea of creating environments where that nurturing is even possible for her. The Bible calls the wife the weaker vessel. And before some of y'all get mad, let's clarify something. In the context of marriage, weaker does not mean less capable, less intelligent, or less wise. The Bible uses a term to describe greater vulnerability and a need for care and protection, not inferiority. This isn't complicated. Men, generally speaking, have more upper body strength than women, and they can do serious damage if they are emotionally dysregulated. That's simply a biological reality. And if that bothers you, take it up with God or evolution if that's what you believe in. Our culture often confuses different with less than, but different and inferior are not the same thing. That's why older women are often called to guide and support younger women that are still raising families. So yes, she is the weaker vessel in her marriage and the competent and wise guide that is guiding younger women. Wisdom and vulnerability are not opposites. Women are designed to carry life. Whether or not she eventually has children is irrelevant. Her nervous system and body were designed to carry, nurture, and sustain life. And the condition of her nervous system matters. This doesn't mean men don't have feelings, but if a man is a husband or ever intends on becoming a husband, it is crucial that he learns how to talk about his feelings rather than acting them out. Because when it comes to feelings, you either talk them out or you act them out. And many men say something like this: what's the point of talking about your feelings if nothing changes? Meaning, if my partner doesn't do what I want, what's the point of talking about it? But emotional intelligence is not a genie granting you your wishes. We talk about our feelings so we can connect, be seen, heard, and understood. Behavior only needs to change when the behavior that caused the negative feeling is unhealthy. And this is where modern culture has gotten completely confused. We've started treating feelings as moral authority. In other words, if something makes us feel bad, we assume that the thing itself must be bad. But those are not the same thing. For example, rejection feels bad, but the person who says no is simply honoring and respecting themselves. So the behavior of saying no was not wrong or unhealthy, even if it made the other person feel bad. This is why emotional intelligence matters, because feelings are real for the person experiencing them, but they are not always accurate interpreters of reality. And that brings us back to marriage. Yes, every adult is responsible for their own emotional regulation, but husbands and wives also have relational responsibilities to create environments where the other person's role can flourish. For a husband, that means creating an environment where his wife can nurture well. And as much as this may bother some men, it is not your wife's job to treat you as the weaker vessel in the marriage. You never have, and you never will, carry life. And when women move out of the stage of raising families, their role expands. They become supporters and guides to women who are still raising families. But she cannot do that well while still trying to manage the emotional stability of her husband. And yes, I know that our individualistic society has lost this role, leaving many young mothers to figure it out on their own. But that needs to change. And all this mess in our society proves it. And let me make something else clear. Nurturing does not mean fixing people's feelings. It means honoring that the feelings are real for the person that are experiencing them. It does not mean pretending you agree with their interpretation. And it does not mean bending yourself into a pretzel every time someone's emotions shift. And before someone jumps into the comments about the phrase weaker vessel, let me be clear. Our work is for the people who want to live in what Augustine called the city of God. Every society has two ways of living: the city of God and the city of man. And we all have the freedom to decide which one we want to live in. So if the phrase weaker vessel bothers you, that's okay. But that language comes from scripture. And in other videos, we'll dive deeper into what it actually means within the context of marriage. If that's something you want to explore, follow along and we'll do the work together. And if not, that's okay too. There is plenty of secular City of Man content out there that will align with what you're looking for. And here's a reminder for us all. As Pastor Darius Daniels brilliantly said, you're not deep because you can quote the Bible. You're deep because you live it. All over social media, you see men saying that marriage doesn't benefit them, so they don't want to get married. On the other end, you also see women saying that marriage doesn't benefit them, so they don't want to get married. We also see men saying that they don't want to have kids. On the other end, we also see women saying that they don't want to have kids. But we also see Black men pulling stats to show where Black women are going wrong, and Black women pulling stats to show where Black men are going wrong. But it seems like both sides want the same thing: never to get married and never to have kids. So what is the issue? What is all the fighting about? What are all these podcasts and comment sections on social media with all this fighting even for? Don't both sides want the same thing? This is a community full of brilliant, beautiful, talented, gifted, and spiritually astute people. Y'all aren't tired of letting the devil win yet?